Hey you guys, it's your girl T, and I'm feeling much better today. So I wanted to come on here because I got a few emails about Laila Ali. If you guys know, I am a big Muhammad Ali fan. I had did the video shortly after his death. So a few people wanted me to talk about the whole Laila Ali situation. Folks are going in on her on social media. She's not trending yet, but I'm sure she will be trending soon, okay? So what's going down is that today Laila Ali had an interview with HuffPost, and they were asking her about different things like Black Lives Matter movement, Colin Kaepernick, Cam Newton, and how she feels about everything. And basically, to summarize it, she says that her not posting doesn't mean that Black lives don't matter. That's clearly obvious that Black lives matter, but it's like, what's posting it supposed to do? What is speaking about it supposed to do? And then she went on to talk about how she really doesn't want to talk about it because she doesn't want to alienate certain fans who are not Black. And also, she does not want to lose any of her endorsement deals. So when folks heard this, they went in on her. I want y'all to listen to a small snippet of her interview. If you guys want to hear the whole interview, I'll post a link down below. You guys can check out the entire interview, but here's a small snippet, and I'm going to show you guys what folks have to say on social media. Check this out, and I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary.
You're Black, but we as Black people are not calling the shots. We're not in charge. You have to fit in. You have to conform to a certain extent, but still try to be true to yourself. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like with me, for example, I don't a lot of times just post that I like, that I might see that are very pro-Black, but I won't post it on my Facebook page because I have fans from all races, from all around the world, and I don't ever like to make people feel separate. You know, and sometimes they do, like when you just be like, Black power, I love my, you know, so it's like, you know, I think it's time to like, I like the all lives matter, you know. Yes, Black lives matter. Yes, white lives matter, Asian lives matter, all lives matter, you know, and that's kind of what my focus is. But it's hard, you know, because, you know, you got sponsors and you got this and you got that, and you don't want to step on anybody's toes and trying to be politically correct, but at the same time trying to uplift your people. So it's a hard.
Is there a line though? What is that line for you, essentially, for you to be like, you know what, yes, Black Lives Matter, let's post it? Is there...
Well, I mean, I think that by me not posting it doesn't mean that Black lives don't matter. To me, it's obvious that Black lives matter. And then to me, I'm like, okay, so what is posting going to do? What is speaking out going to do? Like, what can we really do? That's where you start. It's a starting point, you know? But like I said, I'm not going to speak out without knowing, like, what is my next move going to be? Because obviously I have 4 million people on my Facebook page.
All right, so you guys just heard what Laila Ali had to say. You guys just saw the tweets, the comments, and what folks had to say about her. So a lot of people are really upset about this. A lot of folks are going in on her, calling her all types of coons and everything else, the typical words that we hear when people say something that people don't like. It's been a lot of celebrities out here in the past, you know, not even week, the past month, that have been really showing themselves for what they really believe and who they really are. A lot of folks are saying that so many celebrities are canceled. They're saying Serena Williams is canceled because she was screaming all lives matter. Fantasia Barrino is canceled. It's a lot of people that people are so-called canceling, okay? What Laila Ali said, again, really does not surprise me. At the end of the day, her name is Laila Ali, not Muhammad Ali. They are two different people. You know, like I've always said before, I don't get caught up in what celebrities say, because they don't speak for me. Nobody speaks for me. Nobody speaks for me but me, myself, and I. You know what I'm saying? But I understand people feel like, well, if you're a celebrity, you have a huge platform and you're supposed to be the voice of, black people, and this is not cool, and this, and that. At the end of the day, a lot of folks need to realize that a lot of celebrities, especially black celebrities, they do not consider themselves in the same situation as regular black people. I said the same thing in my Lil Wayne video. At the end of the day, a lot of these black celebrities consider themselves green first and black second. They're about their money. At the end of the day, their money in their pocketbook is going to transcend any race relation issue in this country. They're worried about them and their family and how they're going to be able to eat and take care of themselves financially. First and foremost, during Muhammad Ali's time was a very different time than in Laila Ali's time. This is not, 1950 something. This is not the 60s or the 70s. When Muhammad Ali was fighting for black rights, black people barely had any rights back then. I spoke about this in my video if you guys want to watch my Muhammad Ali video. Black people barely had any rights back then. So the main difference is back then, everybody supported Muhammad Ali. They stood behind him. So the whole situation is very interesting because Laila Ali, I've always liked her. I've always liked her interviews. She's very conscious. She's not no dumb chick, but again, money and financial situations can change people. Because I remember watching interviews about her, like 4 or 5 years ago, where she was talking a lot of pro-black stuff and talking about natural beauty. And even as recently as 2 years ago, she did an interview. She did an interview with Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless, where she was talking about Floyd Mayweather and how he does not compare to her father because of all the things that her father did for the people and how he left all his endorsement deals, all his money. He didn't let that change him. It was about the people first. I want you guys to go ahead and watch these 2 clips. I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary.
What I like to focus more on is how we feel about ourselves from within, loving ourselves. A lot of people have a false sense of self-love. You know what I mean? Where they, right now you got all these videos and, the hip hop industry and everybody's idolizing jewelry and money and cars and things that, we're not making. You know what I'm saying? We're not making money off of. Everybody else is making money off it, and we're just giving our money and worried about the wrong things and making people feel like they're not worth anything and they ain't nothing if they don't have money, and that's not what it's about. You know what I mean? Money doesn't make you happy. Half those people don't have all things. They get it rented for the video. You know what I mean? And then they have all these kids worried about the wrong thing. Now, there's no one close to Muhammad Ali. And even the guys who are technically great, I don't put them on the level of my father. And my father wasn't only great in the ring, people loved who he was as a person. So it was like full circle. So it's one thing just to run your mouth and try to promote a fight, but what my father did, for the world, not just boxing, was just on a whole nother level. The main thing that people love about my father is the fact that he's his own man. He stood up for what he believed in. He didn't have a posse around him. He wasn't worried about people taking his titles, his money. He wasn't in fear of his life. He just wanted to do what was right. And a lot of people didn't love him, or they didn't agree with him. But one thing we all have to do is respect that, because most people aren't going to do it, especially if you have something to take away from them. And, my father, ever since he was young, he said, "I'm beautiful, I'm the greatest. And, you may not know it now, but I'm going to show you." And he backed it up. And, we can call ourselves the best or the greatest, but the whole world calls my father the greatest. And like you said, it's because of everything that he went through and stood up for what he believed in and how much got taken away from him. And then he still came back and fought for the people, loves people. And he's been super consistent with that.
Okay, so you guys just saw those 2 short clips. So, in my personal opinion, do I feel like she's cooning or anything like that? No, I don't like to use that word. I just don't. People just use that word, just be using it. That word holds no meaning to me. I've told y'all that before, because the minute that somebody disagrees with you, you're a coon. But I do feel like she's definitely walking on eggshells. She does not want to piss off her sponsors. While I don't agree with that interview that she did with HuffPost, the only thing I can say is that I do respect her for being honest. Because unlike a lot of these other celebrities like Ray Lewis, Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James, and everybody else who's trying to walk on eggshells and, denounce Colin Kaepernick and saying that he's doing the wrong thing. And, LeBron James didn't say that, but, Shaquille O'Neal did and Ray Lewis did. they're not being honest. They're not saying that I can't speak up. I don't want to say that Black Lives Matter because it may mess with my money, it may mess with my financial situation, it may mess with my sponsors. And at least Laila Ali is being honest, because at the end of the day, it comes down to money. And the thing is, with the Black community, we're always so quick to get upset. But again, we don't own anything. We can't economically help these people. We want people to put their neck out there for us and speak on our behalf. You know what I'm saying? We want these celebrities to be our voice. But again, we're not the ones putting them in their financial situations. And if you're not backing somebody financially, if you're not paying their bills, you cannot dictate how they move. It's as simple as that. You know what I'm saying? It's no different than us regular people working a 9-to-5 job. If I'm not cutting you a check, you have no loyalty to me. At the end of the day, it's about money for a lot of these celebrities, and they're not going to put their neck on the line or their financial situation on the line to simply get a retweet on Twitter or to get a like on Twitter or to have people saying, you know what, you're the man for today, and then tomorrow they forget about you. A lot of these people are looking out for themselves, you know, and at the end of the day, Black folks are going to have to come together as a consecutive group and figure out what they want to do. And even in this Black Lives Matter movement, it's so divided because you had the whole situation down in Ferguson with Darren Seals, and he's saying that he started it, and then it was hijacked by D-Ray and them. A lot of folks say that, you know, that Black Lives Matter movement, they're nothing but a bunch of antagonists. And then you have other people saying that, no, we're not that Black Lives Matter movement. We're this Black Lives Matter movement where we're just talking about regular Black people mattering. So it's so many different factions to this. There's so many different ways to spin this. The whole shit is just damn confusing. But I am kind of disappointed in her that she would say that, you know, what's the point of speaking out? Speaking out doesn't do anything. Speaking out does a lot. Had your father not chosen to step up and speak out, you would not have the comforts that you're afforded today. Neither would I, and neither would millions of Black people around the world. Speaking out definitely does do something. Standing up against the grain, speaking out against what's wrong definitely does make change. So for her to be very dismissive and saying that there's no point in speaking out, you know, I was kind of saddened by that, because I look at a lot of her old interviews and she was never like that. But again, I can't judge her financial situation because, again, I'm not paying this woman. And until we can come together with some type of group economic and pay the folks that we want to speak for us and be our so-called leaders of the Black community, you're not going to have a bunch of celebrities speaking out. Because again, until you cut checks and until you're paying these people's bills, they don't owe you anything. Not Lil Wayne, not Serena, not Laila Ali, nobody. That's why I don't get my emotions tied up into celebrities. That's why I don't expect celebrities to speak for me. At the end of the day, we're all our own individual people, and we all have to have our own opinions and decide what we want to go with and what we want to stand with. But again, you can't force anybody to speak for you who does not want to speak for you. Is it sad to have Laila Ali saying some stuff like this? One of the greatest Black leaders who basically put everything on the line because he did not want to go fight in Vietnam. It is sad that her attitude is very flippant and, you know, very, you know, dismissive. But in the same breath, I do understand where she's coming from, because she does have sponsors. She is a mother. She does have children to feed. And if she feels like, you know what, speaking about certain things is going to jeopardize my money, and there's not going to be a Black community to come and help me and my children if we end up losing it all, there's not an economic base in the Black community to come and save me or save my children in case we lose it all, I understand why she's tight-lipped. Because back in the 50s and 60s, when her father was out there, you know what I'm saying, speaking out and things like that, even though he was dead, even though he had lost his endorsements, he lost his money, and he was, you know, literally poor, he did have a lot of backing from Black people. Even though he wasn't living the high life that he had once lived for those, you know, 3 or 4 years when he was going through the trials and everything else, he still had the Nation of Islam helping him out financially. Regular Black folks were also donating to him financially as well. So there was more of a community back then, where if one of our own was willing to put their neck on the line and put themselves out there, people supported them financially and made sure they were okay. But now in 2016, we don't have that, because everybody's doing their own thing. Everybody's trying to make their own way and get their own money. So, you know, that's what it really breaks down to. It's not that these people don't necessarily want to speak out. It's just the fact that if they do speak out, it's going to affect their money, and she's keeping it 100. And that's what she's saying to her. Her sponsors and her money is more important to her than speaking out about certain issues. So unless folks had a check to cut her, there's really no point in complaining, because that's how a lot of these celebrities feel. You know, I'm not going to speak out for the Black community. I'm not going to put my neck out there and then I have nothing to show for it. You know, people are so mad at Fantasia Barrino and for her doing the All Lives Matter concert. So if she was to do a Black Lives Matter concert, are y'all going to go out there and financially support her? Are y'all going to be out there in the stands? Are y'all going to buy tickets? So a lot of things we have to also question ourselves. You know, are we going to be out there to support these artists when they put their necks out there? Or is she going to make more money by saying all lives matter so that way all races come and she can get her money? So at the end of the day, all this bullshit basically boils down to money, boils down to sponsorships, boils down to getting paid. And if these people are not seeing it from their own community and they're not getting financial help from their community, do not expect them to speak out for you. Point blank, period. So anyways, y'all, let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this entire crazy situation concerning the late, great Muhammad Ali's daughter, Laila Ali. Feel like she's cooning? Do you feel like, you know, she's selling out by saying what she said to HuffPost Live? Or do you feel like Laila Ali is just keeping it real and it is what it is? And if we want these people to talk for us and be our voice, then we need to start supporting them financially. So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. All right, deuces. Hey you guys, it's your girl T. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share my videos. You can also visit Lovelyti.com to purchase any merchandise. Also, don't forget to click the boxes down below to watch any of my previous videos. Talk to y'all later. Deuces.